Hello everyone, Scott Lowe from GamesCom here. I'm here with the lovely, the talented Keza McDonald. Say hello.
Hello.
And we want to talk about the question that's on everybody's mind. Now that the PlayStation 4 is out there in terms of release date, shipping November 15th in the US, the 29th in Europe, what is Microsoft going to do next? What's your take on that?
Well, I think that the main thing that differentiates for Europeans is which countries it's going to launch in. Like Xbox One, they've already said they're going to launch, I think it's 15 territories at launch, so that's going to leave out, quite a few European countries, which Sony isn't doing. So I reckon that they're going to launch in those 15 countries day and date, and I reckon they're going to go slightly earlier. I reckon a week earlier. That's going to be my estimate, but it's going to be the same in like the UK and the US.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a highly competitive landscape, and Microsoft has done a lot to kind of recover from its initial failings on the, kind of May 21st event. But, obviously, with Microsoft scaling back the number of markets that they already promised, like, it kind of suggests that they are expecting supply problems. Do you think that's going to be a problem? And more importantly, do you think that will push them later than that kind of early November bit of rumor that we've heard?
Well, I think it might be offset. You're right. I think that it does indicate they're maybe having manufacturing issues if they can't launch in all the territories that were originally promised. But maybe by cutting back on the territories, they're able to deliver enough units to what they see as their key territories, which would mean they're able to go, in a similar at a similar time to PS4. I think it would be a really big deal if the PS4 launched first. I think it's gained such momentum in general over the past 3-4 months, and Microsoft's done a lot to redress that balance. I think a lot of people have maybe pre-ordered an Xbox 360 since E3 as opposed to at E3, but I think it would still be a big advantage for Microsoft to go first, and I think that also they wouldn't want to let Sony get the jump on them like that,
I mean, and obviously, obviously not in the UK, but for more in the States, like Black Friday is such a huge deal, like, the big shopping season, pushing past the 15th in the US would put it dangerously close to that time frame, especially if they're expecting supply problems, trying to get to all those different retailers and, make it effective. So, I think you're absolutely right. Their target should definitely be earlier, but whether or not they actually come through on that seems like, kind of totally up in the air at this point. When do you think we might, hear something about this? Obviously, Gamescom is a huge event, and Sony kind of owned it by, doing all sorts of different stuff with the Vita price drop and, of course, the release date for the PS4. I mean, when's the next big opportunity? Do you think Microsoft will just kind of do it quietly?
That's it. Microsoft has kind of made its announcements on its own calendar, to its own timetable so far with the Xbox One. I think it would be very, 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 very unlikely for Microsoft to announce it at TGS, given that Japan, not the strongest market for the Xbox traditionally. So I would say maybe they'll do a Nintendo, announce nothing much here, and then a week later they'll announce the release date.
Yeah, just some random Nintendo Direct style video. Awesome. Well, thank you, Keza. For all things Gamescom, head over to IGN.